Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast, Real Talk Atlanta. I'm here with my favorite host. I am Ashley LeRae.
I'm Tiesha Renee.
I'm Neika W.
And I'm River the Realtor.
Yes, and we are back, your hump day hotties. I had to take that back. I love that.
I love it
too. No, we definitely need that on a shirt, for real.
That'd be so funny walking around. Somebody got a
Hump day
hottie. My client's going to be like, ma'am.
Like, what is going on? So how's everything been? I wanted to, guys, remember we're doing our new segment. It's called the Peak and the Pit.
In the pit.
So I want to get an update with everyone. What's been
pick
going?
me first.
Okay, go ahead.
John Tucker, there's for real. There's an agent being John Tucker out here. And when I say John Tucker must die, that's how she's making me feel. She's being so mean to me, y'all. But
oh my gosh.
It's going to be okay.
It's going to be okay.
Like when there's a will, there's a way. And there's nothing that she can do to stop my blessings. So
no, that's right.
My cup runneth over, my commissions runneth over,
Period.
And I will runneth over her. So that's my pit, but I think my peak is that, like, I know I'm going to see this whole little thing through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And my client's going to celebrate. It's going to be good. So she's my peak, but the Lord is... No, she's my pit.
Your
the
pit.
Lord is my peak.
I love that. I love that.
You see how God grabbed that tongue?
Right.
Grab that.
It was working
watch
hard.
your mouth.
That is so funny.
That's
How about
good.
you guys?
For me, y'all do not laugh. My peak of the week is I found this new place that I'm obsessed with. It's a grilled cheese place at Lenox.
Oh, my God.
Oh my! I thought you meant a house, like a community.
No, listen, y'all. Y'all gotta go try it out.
Is it and cheese?
I've been obsessed. I will park at Lenox, walk all the way over there to get me a grilled cheese.
I'm going to try. I should have did that today.
Yes.
I should have did that today.
Oh,
yeah.
my
And it's
God.
black on, too.
Yeah, it is. It's
I
super
love that.
good.
I tried going there a couple weeks ago and it was closed, so they must have moved.
Do they have
inside the
jelly?
mall.
No, it's in the
Because
same
I like
place.
jelly
Is
on my
it?
grilled cheese.
Really?
Ew.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Not peanut butter grilled cheese.
Not peanut butter and cheese.
No, I
and
said
jelly
jelly.
and cheese.
No, that
That's
was
still
literally
crazy. That's making my teeth hurt for some reason.
That is so funny.
Y'all
And what's your
What's your
pit?
pit?
My pit for this week is, I have a client. We submitted an offer. They're never getting back to us. I don't know. It's
Willow. Because I'm having the same issue.
I feel like, I don't know. We've been getting a lot of listens. It's like every time I submit an offer on her properties, it's just like they ghost us. It was like, did you guys receive the offer or not? So I'm trying to keep her in good spirit and making sure she know, it's not my fault.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's very unfortunate. So we're working through that. So yeah.
I
that's a
hate
little
agents
thing.
like that. Like, at least just let us know, even if you don't accept our offer. Let me know.
I know.
Something.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to call that my pit, too, because I'm working with an agent now. We're under contract, but her communication skills are terrible. Like, I had to go ahead and when I originally submitted the offer, I guess it was submitted to, like, the head lady in charge, and she passes it to the agent. I had to go ahead and CC
Not
her,
the
like,
HBIC.
hey. As soon as I CC her, she texted me, hey, I'm going to get it to you in the morning. Every time
What's
I
her
got to
name?
follow up.
Look, I'm
Nah,
just-
I ain't even call
I'm
her
just
out. It's
playing.
just like, I hate agents who
Subscribe
don't
to the-
communicate. Yeah. To the Patreon. But no, that's my pit. Like, she's stressing me out, not communicating with me. Like, not answering my questions, due diligence. Like, come on now, get it together.
That sucks.
But my peak is going to be my seminar that's coming up this weekend. When this episode airs, it would
I'm
have
so
already happened. But, like, I'm so close to it, like, ready to just get it done.
You got this.
Yeah, it's
proud
going to
of
be
you.
good. And that's what I've been taking up most of my time for the past.
I love that. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. My pit, I'm working with this new construction preferred lender, and like his communication just sucks. Like Ashton Woods.
I know who it is.
Ooh. Yeah.
She said she
Subscribe to the Patreon. We'll give
I know
y'all
who
the
the
real
Linda is. What is
Yes.
that? What's the name? What's the name? Yep.
Oh my God, really? You work with him?
Terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, his communication sucks. Like, I emailed him this morning and he just got back to me like a couple minutes ago. I'm like, hello.
Answer the phone.
Right.
Yeah.
What if I had a
People-
question?
Y'all know my favorite word. Communicative.
Communicative, right. I was like about to pull up at the office, but
you should.
And the thing is, the listing agents be knowing, they be like, well, he's going to get y'all to close.
Yeah.
He's just not going to answer your
just
phone
did.
call.
Okay.
it's a lot of money on the line. She had to put, my client put 5% down for her earnest money.
Mhm.
Like, come on now. just email me back, call me back, something.
Right.
That's the least you can do.
Yeah. But my peak, I don't know. I've had a pretty good week so far.
Okay.
So the whole week
just
is a
been
peak,
feeling
period.
good. Yeah.
That's good.
love
Good
that.
spirits.
I love that for you.
Mhm.
Let's keep that up.
Yeah.
Look, I'm sitting up higher now.
Okay.
I feel good.
Hold on.
Yeah, that made me fix my posture.
Wait a minute, let me get mine again.
Right. So let's dive right into the episode. So as you guys know, there have been so many changes that have been affecting both the housing market and the rental market.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, from fluctuating prices and interest rates, and there's been increase in evictions recently. It's just a lot that's been going on, and it impacts you guys and whether or not you choose if you want to buy or if you want to rent. So we just kind of want to sit down and discuss what the different what's the word I'm looking for? Trends that have been going on
Good word.
in the real estate industry. Yeah, and just kind of talk about it. So I want to start off. Let's start off with rent, because I'm sure a lot of people watching may still be renters and not homeowners. So
They are doing them dirty.
Okay, because are y'all ready for the quotable?
Okay.
what is it?
The rates are high, but your rent is higher.
It's definitely higher. Okay.
They are not playing
At all.
with that rent.
So I did some research and I saw that the average rent prices in Atlanta is a little under $1,850. Now,
Okay.
that's still not bad, because the rent prices I've seen are way higher than that. But that was just the average price here in Atlanta for an apartment that's about 970 square feet.
Lord Jesus.
But let's take it up a notch.
That's a
Good size. That's a one bedroom.
But we
Yeah.
gotta take it up a
Good
notch, because we know the girls who are listening. Y'all want floor to ceiling windows.
Okay.
In a high rise.
I want quartz.
Concierge.
Girl, you don't know the difference.
Seriously. A lot of my clients right now are actually looking to be homeowners just because of how high their rent is. I have one client, I think her rent is like 24, and they were raising it to like 26, 27.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, we can get you a good house.
No,
You know, pay a little
seriously.
bit less than that, just a little bit less.
Yeah,
But it's
even
still your house, you know?
Jesus. Even when I was renting, I remember my last apartment, my base rent was like $1,550 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time I moved out 12 months later, they increased my rent to $1,850 a month.
Literally, I was the same way when I was living like across from Atlantic Station. Like, started out paying like 13 something. I had a 2-bed, 1-bath. I'm like, oh, this is live.
Oh, that's
After the
good.
pandemic, though,
Yeah.
they were like, COVID is over, and so is that rent. $18.99 plus the thing. Yeah, they went
How
on
they
my
go
stuff
from
extreme.
13 to 18?
That's how I ended up on the Upper West Side. Y'all remember when I used to live over there? But like, I think that people don't understand that, yes, there's an increase in the housing market, but rent is going up as well, because the cost of living affects the housing market in general, and rent is part of the housing market.
Yeah, absolutely.
I always say the thing, buying will always be better than renting, because it's just so many benefits with buying, right? I feel like in this market right now, when we're talking about buying versus rent, if you're in a mindset where you're trying to buy a house because you think it will be cheaper than rent, then it's not really that market. However, if you have the savings and you have been saving, you have the money, buying is better than rent, because you will get a return on that. You know?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are always, I know, and I see a lot of realtors actually saying it on Instagram, like, you could, to buy a house, it's cheaper than
It's
renting.
not, yeah.
It's really not.
Nah.
Yeah.
It's
You
really
just
not.
get better for your buck instead
Yeah.
of renting a home for not a home, but renting an apartment, a 1-bedroom apartment for $1,850,
Right.
$1,900. You can get a 4-bedroom,
Yeah.
a 4-bedroom, 3-bedroom for around $2,100.
Like a townhome.
But then
I was
again,
about to say for 18,
no,
I
not
said
for
that.
Where's that?
not for 18. I'm not gonna cap to y'all. Listen, it's gonna be a little bit more, but guess what? You can get your money back when you sell this house.
Right.
You will never see that rent money.
Say that, sister. No, I think you have to put this in real perspective and real numbers, because I know y'all like to kick it straight. Think about it like this, right? Your rent $2,000 a month. Over a year, you have just spent $24,000 to borrow something from somebody else. Now it's time for you to give it back. Not only have you given them $24,000, but now you put tax in my wall. You did this. I need an additional $1,200 to fix everything that you fake broke when you borrowed my house from me. That's insane. You could spend, let's say a $27,000, a little bit more, $3,000 more, but at the end of that year, that house still belongs to you. Your $27,000 that you put into it now may be worth $50,000 because you built equity. You don't get a return from borrowing something from anybody.
No, exactly.
They're collecting money off of you, and you looking real crazy.
And that's the thing, because at the end of the day, we all know this. Rent prices are going to keep going up.
Yeah.
The cost of living is going to keep going up. And you really have to ask yourself, how are you going to keep up? Because the prices are going to keep going up. There's nothing that we can do out of that.
And the jobs ain't paying no more, Lord.
Because of inflation.
Yeah, inflation, exactly. Yeah. So, and you know what's crazy, you guys? I saw an apartment last week that typically, y'all know, they just require you to have, or to, what is it, 3 times? You have to make 3 times the rent or something like that. Do y'all know that this apartment required you to have 1 times the annual rent inside of your checking account?
No, that is a real life thing, and I'm glad you brought that up.
1 times the annual rent.
The rent was $1,900 a month
in your bank account.
So they wanted you to have the whole year's rent in your bank account in order to get your
access. Buy a house. Buy a house.
And that's
isn't that crazy?
Renting right now, right? The stipulations behind renting are probably worse than underwriting.
And they're getting stricter.
And they're getting worse because I'm not gonna put y'all out there because y'all know what y'all be doing to get these little apartments, but they're on to y'all.
Not the CPN.
Who said that? I don't know nothing about it. But what I am saying is y'all do. And I think they're catching on to that. And because of that, people are leaving, apartments with all these vacancies, leaving them all these extra things. They're going up on the price, one, to alleviate who's able to have access to certain quality of rentals. But then also making it so strenuous for you to get into it. By the time you've rented an apartment, you've been through underwriting. We're almost clear to close at that point on a house because they're asking for so much.
They need the same documents. So you might as well submit it to the lender.
They run your credit too, y'all.
And it ain't a soft pool.
Hate getting your credit.
Right. And I think that's also good to know because even when you think about apartments, they require you to not have like any evictions or certain
bankruptcy.
Things. Yeah, things like that. But when you're dealing with a mortgage, they don't care if you got evicted from your apartment like a couple years ago, do they?
I think it'll come up on your credit report. So
if you owe some money,
well, that's
different. Stipulations with the eviction, but again, it's not as strenuous. Right? Even on the credit requirement, right? I've had apartments tell my clients like, "Oh, we require 600, 620." Baby, FHA requires 580. You might as well come on the damn
get a conventional loan.
I think that rent apartments now are leaning more. They're trying to market to certain type of renters. I feel like people that are renting are like people like me. I already have a home, but I'm renting because of convenience. So I also own a home, but because of the location, the convenience for my business, I'm renting this, right? So people, like, for example, the 1 annual fee that they're asking for you to have in your bank, those are people that have money to, to throw away. Yeah. And those are the people that they want because they know, like, oh.
But let's be real. But most people renting are not in that predicament.
Right.
So, and like you said, it's just a way to push certain people out. And it's crazy too. So the end of last year, like August, September, that was the highest eviction rate that we've ever seen ever. And of course, like we said, that's due to inflation. And you guys remember the housing, the pandemic housing.
The PPP loans right now.
That people were having their rent paid by the local and state governments. And
I was about to say something else. I'm going to say, not by and then being ran out.
Not the SDs, but even the what is it? The rent moratorium that the landlords had. So after all that kind of settled, there were a ton of people getting evicted, and you really have to sit down and think, okay. Because I remember myself, when they raised my rent to $1,850, I said, you know what? I do not want to sign another lease ever again. Because if you can afford to pay rent in Atlanta or really anywhere these days, you can afford a mortgage. Absolutely.
I think Neika touched on something. I think the rental market is really being marketed to a certain group of people. And to me, that group of people is the one that really do it for a look. A lot of people say like, oh, people are buying a house because it looks cool. No, y'all are renting those $3,000 boxes with the glass windows and what y'all think are quartz countertops, and they're really laminate it for TikTok. So get ready with me and open your curtains. Like, good night and goodbye. I got curtains in my townhouse that will eat y'all curtains down. And my mortgage is $1,700. So let's get it.
And guess what? You're making money while you're sleeping in your house.
Exactly. I'd be waiting.
Was making money.
That's how I just saw. I'd be like, oh, let me go have a message.
Yeah. Exactly. You're literally gaining equity and making money every time you lay your head down, every time you go in your house. Your rent isn't making you anything. You're not going to get that money back.
Another thing I want to touch on renting is like when you lay your head down, you wake up and you know this house is still going to be your house. I have a client who we've been shopping for a while, and she was kind of going back and forth if she was going to buy or if she was going like, oh, maybe I just need to rent a little bit while longer. While we were on the phone having this conversation of what she's going to do, she literally gets an email from her landlord. They are selling their house, and you don't have a choice but to leave.
Oh, yeah. Because we didn't even get into that.
You don't even have a choice but to leave. So it's like at any point, your landlord can say, adios. Yeah, I don't want this house anymore. I'm selling it. Like, but now, now we under contract. Shout out to my client. And now she's going to be the owner of her house and don't have to worry about that. So that's another thing. Like, it's yours.
And Neika, remember, I called Neika the other day, guys, because I have a client. She's renting a house.
Yeah, let's bring this story to the table.
So, and you know the owner as well, but I have a client who's renting a house from someone who purchased a home maybe like 2 years ago as an investment property. So he bought the house.
Oh, brother.
Yeah. So he bought the house, renovated it, fixed it up, and then put it on the market to lease to someone. Long story short, you guys, this lady, my client, paid him a couple thousand as her deposit, and she's been living there for months, paying her rent on time, doing everything that she needs to do. But she saw that he never paid his mortgage in 6 months. She's been giving him money, and the landlord has not been paying his mortgage. So guess what?
You gotta go.
The house got foreclosed. She had to get evicted. It wasn't her fault, but she didn't own the home.
Right.
I said, "Ooh,
people are nuts."
No, I think
why are you not paying it? You getting the money.
I don't know where it went.
He is out the country having a ball, and that's just the truth. I feel you.
But it just goes to show, like you said, at least if you own a home, you have security and knowing that no one can take it from you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just couldn't even imagine if I was in that predicament. That's just insane. Some of these landlords are very shisty. Okay.
And some of them really are not even landlords. It's crazy because one of the houses I'm under contract on, the builder built 2 houses next door to each other in an already built subdivision. So long story short,
I know where that's at. I think. Are you under contract on that?
I am.
Okay.
Anyway, but this is where it gets crazy. Not the attorney, the listing agent called me pretty much asking me about the lockbox. Lockbox goes missing. The house, not my client's house, but the one next door. Somebody leased that house to somebody else. The lady has furnished the house. She lives there. And my client is like, baby, you're a squatter. That's what you don't know. Like, whoever the person was, they said that they were actually the listing agent, that it was for lease. They took the lady's Supra, threw it in the bushes, got in there.
So wait, the house is still on the market?
The house is, literally, if you go on the MLS right now, it is listed as actively on the market for sale. But somebody posed as the landlord, got in there. I mean, this lady was in there, decked it out, couches, like furs. And they're looking through the window like...
Furs is crazy.
Now, is this house staged or is this a joke? And it's like somebody literally posed as a...
We in Atlanta.
And
she found that on Zillow.
Or Craigslist or something crazy like that. But it's like, imagine that. Like, she paid a security deposit, same thing. She's moved in. She moved the furniture in. Like, the whole thing is in there. And it's
she
like...
probably had a housewarming and all.
And you got to get right on out because it don't belong to you. I think with renting, there are just so many things, especially in scam Atlanta, you got to be fearful of. And I think the biggest thing is knowing that one day somebody could really knock on your door and put you out.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
It's
not in my
crazy.
house.
It's no it's not stable.
Right.
Like, you all constantly have to think about, oh my God, am I going to renew my lease? Like, where I'm going to go in a year?
Are they going to go up on the rent?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they will. That's not even a question.
It's not. And then, you know what I prefer? Like, being a homeowner, knowing that I don't have to pay my mortgage on the first. And I
Okay,
have
don't tell them that because they're going to start getting crazy.
I got to pay mine on the 4th. I be itching. I be on the 1st. I got to get it out of there.
No,
if you have until the 15th, it gives you a little piece. Like, okay, I
pay it on the 1st. Don't even get into that.
Don't follow me.
Because look, my birthday December 4th, and I'm telling y'all, in December I was thinking like, just stretch it on.
Without penalties. Hey, but you have a grace period. But when you're renting, that rent due on the 1st.
Okay.
And they gonna put that notice on the door.
Yeah.
Your whole hallway gonna see it. Be like, ooh,
she broke, bro. We used to do that all the time. That is crazy. I think one thing that we have to know is I think a lot of people haven't really gotten their minds to understand the shift either, right? Because when I think about where I was when we were first renting, like my first time moving out, I had a 2-bedroom in Buckhead with a sunroom, 2 separate bathrooms en suite. I was paying $1,400.
Living your best life.
Whoa.
Amazing life. But now you couldn't even get a 1-bedroom in Buckhead really for $1,400.
And now that, I mean, this is even like, this was a long time ago, but you know what's so funny? My mom told me her first apartment in New York, or my dad, I'm sorry, he paid maybe like $200 something a month.
Oh, child.
So to think now today, people are paying like thousands of dollars.
$3,500.
Like that just goes to show you, like, as far as inflation with rentals and where it's going to go, it's just best to get in where you fit in. Go ahead and just purchase your home now. It just makes
thank us
sense.
later. I think this conversation is great for also students are not in college or thinking about moving their parents' house just to live by themselves, right? I feel like when I was in college and I was in high school, I had a lot of like friends that had this mentality like, oh my God, I'm about to get me an apartment.
I've been there. Yeah.
You know, and it's like, I wish someone would have had that conversation with me and said, hey, there's another route that's actually going to be better long term than renting. Like it's, you know, the hype is not it, you know? So if you're listening to this and you're, you know, in your 20s, your early 20s, or even in your, you know, if you're 17, 18, 19, you're thinking about you have the money to rent.
If you're 17 and you got the money right now, I want you to call me today. We gonna waive your appraisal and your inspection. If you are 17 and you are reading this message, we'll take care of you.
I think that's a really good point, Neika and River, because I feel like but I also feel like it depends on where you live at. So like for me, like I didn't have that. Like I can't stay where I was living at and still be like, you know, successful and do what I want to do. So just keeping in mind, like sometimes you do have to take that leap. You do have to move to that new city and you probably are going to have to rent, and that's okay. It's like not that we're like knocking it, but it's kind of like always keep if you have that ability like you where you're in a big city, you can do all these good things and don't be in a rush to like go take that leap when you can stack, save your money and do more with it in the long run.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we've all been there, done that. You know, I feel like a lot of people, everyone I'm sure has kind of been in that predicament where you want to move out, get an apartment, it looks cool, it's nice, yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, but as you get older and you kind of get more into an investment mindset and just thinking more futuristic. Yeah, really, you just want to make sure that you're protecting the money that you're making, that your money is making you money. Buying just makes sense. So I just wanted to wrap it up, just kind of do a quick recap as far as why it's better to buy right now versus to rent. Obviously, we know the prices are going up, the cost of living is going up, but at least if you're purchasing a home, your home is making you money. You can gain equity. You can refinance. There's a ton of options.
It's not right. It may change a little bit, but not too much.
It's just more secure. You really getting more bang for your buck as opposed to just giving your buck away for no reason. It's really just as simple as that.
I had a client call me today. She's selling her house. She's making $350,000 off the house.
What? She got amazing.
If you have ever rented and made $350,000 off the, I don't know,
proceeds
of the rental of your home, call me because I want to buy you a house.
Do y'all know what I got back when I moved out of my apartment?
$200.
I got $73 back.
Wow.
I got nothing. I got a letter that says, we taking this and you owe me something else. And I'm not doing it.
Come find me. Get it back in blood.
Because there was nothing wrong with that apartment. Y'all know I keep my apartment. I said, I'm not paying y'all. Being
it was rain.
It's a scam. It's a scam.
Because now if you trying to break your lease, they're like, oh, you got to give us 3 months.
In advance.
Yeah, like crazy.
Yeah, no, you about to make my head hurt. Let's not even get into that. So yeah, that was pretty good. I'm glad we talked about that. I think a lot of people, I hope that is beneficial for you guys because I know there are a ton of people watching us who are in a lease right now who may want to get out and transition into buying, but now is the best time. Don't wait. Especially... What were you going to say?
I was like, don't come in the comments trying to tell us that renting is better than buying because
we don't want to.
You have no pros here.
Okay, access denied. We're not even going to acknowledge you.
Right. And honestly, something else I want to say before we go is just that, let's say that you're in a lease. We always recommend that you start shopping anywhere from like 2 to 4 months before your lease is up, just to give you some time. So if you're one of those people and you want to transition, be sure to give one of us a call. We would love to help you.
And if you're thinking about renewing your lease and you want to wait, I just encourage y'all to ask at least 4 months in advance. What is the rate going to be? Because what you don't want to do is a month before you think you're going to see a new lease, find out your rent went up $300 and now you really effed up.
And also, please don't think that we are knocking people who are renting because we are 100%
we've all been there.
Not doing that. People have different circumstances, but if you're going to rent, do it smart and have a plan.
We want you to elevate. Not permanent, right?
We're not staying there forever, okay?
That's literally like, I'm sorry, this is the only analogy I could think of, but like a stripper. Like you don't just strip forever. You gotta have a plan to get out. Come on, you just
I love it. Stop stripping.
Put it on the shirt.
And some people just love stripping though.
Hey, Joe.
Some people do it forever.
Yeah. Okay.
Like Medea.
What'd you say? No, forget it.
Let's transition to our favorite segment of the day.
With Ashley of the day.
Yes. I feel like I've been talking so much today.
out today. Love you.
Yes.
It's that blue shirt. It's that collar.
That's what it is.
Warming up the vocals.
So if this is your first time tuning into us, we have this segment called The Question of the Day where we take questions from our audience and you can comment them if you're watching us on YouTube right now. Shoot us a message on Instagram at Real Talk Atlanta or email us at realtalkatlpod@gmail.com. So today's question, I thought that this was perfect since we were already talking about renting, but I want to know what was kind of the turning point that made you guys say, you know what, if you were sitting in your apartment, you're like, you know what, I wish I just bought a house. I don't want to be here no more.
Oh, I got the perfect one. Y'all know I had a little dog.
Yeah,
When she was big, she was little at first. With the apartment, the apartment has like the pet fees and stuff to have the dogs. But when I got her, I had already been searching for the house. I knew I was going to leave. I'm like, I'm not about to pay this deposit. So it was just like, dang, I wish I had a house so I don't got to sneak this dog.
That is so funny.
Sneak this dog in and out, like, because I'm not.
You got to pay for the dog.
I gotta pay for the dog.
And pay for it to stay.
It's even about all that. It's just about the apartment.
Somebody in your crib.
Like, exactly. Like, I already pay you rent. Like, why am I paying? You not helping me take care of this dog. Like, what am I paying you for?
If you paying your rent, I would have been like, Rain, time to give me your rent for this.
And she ain't no little sucker.
Rain to get you. I miss you, Rain.
I know.
I had to give her away. She was too much for me.
Where I
gave Rain away a long
Where have you been?
Don't start.
I'll be over this weekend.
She's been gone.
I
moved because I didn't want my house smelling like a dog. Sorry.
I don't blame you. Mine, I'll say my last place, I lived in a brand new apartment, so I was the first person who had ever lived there. And I think I had one of the nicer units in the building, not gonna lie, but y'all remember it.
Which one? Your last? The one you
my last place. But y'all, my unit was right up under the like rooftop community area. And when I tell you, I'm somewhat of a homebody. So on weekends, I would be home a lot of the time. During the day, I might be out doing showings, whatever. But on the weekends, I'll be home and there would be a party every single weekend. Up until I would some days. I would call the courtesy officer. They did not care. Oh, y'all thought I was playing?
Would have told him to be quiet.
Yes.
She Karen.
No, we got the feds with us.
I'm telling y'all, it literally sounded like they were about to come through my ceiling. And I was like, oh my God. That's why I said I will never sign another lease. I want to be in my house this time next year.
I feel that.
A mess.
For me, it's when they had the flooding thing going on. Remember when when the pipes burst? So I guess my apartment, that caused the alarm to go off just randomly. And it was only like what they call it, the firefighters can, turn it off. And I tell y'all, it is 1:00 in the morning. I am tired.
You moving.
The alarms were so loud. It were in my room. Like, it was like,
Apartment
it was just
alarms
like,
are
no, I do not play. And then the thing is, it's like a lady speaking like, we have an alarm. And I'm like, oh my God. Yes. And it would not. And because they already came, so it's like as soon as the firefighters come, they turn it off. As soon as they leave, it comes back on.
Oh, they did it right.
So I know they were pissed. They were not coming back. So I was literally trying to sleep with the alarm. That's when I was like, oh my God, I got to leave this place like immediately.
I had that issue
being in your mama house again. Like, stop yelling.
And she woke you up on Saturday morning to clean the house.
Y'all don't want to hear the Sharia tea because she's a yeller. I think for me, I'm one of them people where like, you got to keep showing me till I finally get it. I think I had like moved to an apartment once and it was like a rapper that used to live there and one of his like old ladies, she had like carved some crazy stuff on my door and I was like, okay, it's getting real spooky.
Why? She thought you was talking to the rapper?
She thought he still lived there.
Oh.
So he was coming outside. I'm like,
girl.
But then I was also wondering why they gave it to me at a discounted rate because he was like, it's a lot going on. I'm like, I don't really care. I'm thinking like, we in Buckhead. What's the worst thing going on? That was a headache. So I'm like, all right, I got to move. I go find this beautiful apartment. They show me the model. Baby, move-in day. When I said I went in there, like, it was a whole different apartment. They like, it's okay. We can make this work. And I'm like, bro, no, absolutely not. And then I think the final straw was I was at the last one I was living in. I had this doormat.
I knew you were going to say that.
Y'all, I had this doormat with Jocelyn face. Can I say that on here?
Yeah.
Oh, it was like Jocelyn Hernandez and it said, ho, why is you here?
Yeah.
And like, I was one of the first people with this doormat. I don't care what nobody said. I love my doormat.
Yeah, that doormat was
I come home one day.
It's gone.
Doormat gone. what?
That happened to me.
Stole my doormat, just stealing, just all type of stuff. And I'm like, you know what?
Came to your place, didn't even know which apartment.
You here? Like, why is you here? And I asked you that before you stole my bag. It was too much for me. And I'm like, I need to be in a more controlled space because these apartments really don't know. It'd be too many ins and outs and all that. I just don't like that. I like to be low, put up. I live in the woods and I love it there. So it was enough. It was enough.
Especially if you're in the Atlanta area, they're breaking into cars now, like real bad.
Oh, that girl.
But we ain't talk about
literally
that.
Everything y'all said has happened to me in all my apartments. No, I think about it. Yeah, renting is terrible. Don't do it.
That's it. Renting is terrible. That's the name of the episode.
You buy a house, everybody buy a house.
Yeah, and get y'all a Ring doorbell because I remember my last apartment had a Ring doorbell because I didn't even trust the security in the building. I'm like, I want to see what's going on myself. But anyway, yeah. That's besides the point. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that you took something away from it, which is that what? Renting is terrible. Don't do it. So yeah, feel free. Be sure to tune into us every single Wednesday. We drop new episodes. Follow us on Instagram at Real Talk Atlanta. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of that. And thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Thank you guys.
Bye.